No, it's not really me in the car. I'm not actually in the family truckster, but I am in my hotel room. Look at this craziness. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Obviously, a different sort of show this evening. It's really just kind of me in my hotel with my laptop. Dan in Miami doing the things that he does, and Eli in Hollywood doing his things. So we're coming to you coast to coast to coast to coast. Wait, coast to coast to coast, just three coasts, but that's a lot of coast still. Thank you so much for everyone joining us tonight. I'd like to remind you to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification over on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. I know that we've got quite a few more people watching on YouTube these days, which is awesome. It's pretty awesome, pretty fantastic, in fact, that we're starting to grow that channel a bit. We're excited to have you guys with us as always. Yeah, so apparently there's been a little bit of where is Buddy happening. Not going to tell you quite yet. But we do have some fun for you tonight. Because I knew I was going to be traveling, I asked a few friends of mine to help me out with the show tonight, and I think you're going to really, really dig what we have in store for you. But at the moment, let's take a quick look at our sponsor. As you know, we're sponsoring ourselves. Who am I kidding? Tonight we're sponsoring ourselves, right? Um, I look forward to everybody. I thank everybody for buying merchandise. It's really helpful for us when you do. And we've got a couple of new items in the store. I'll show you one right after this.
This episode of Groove Diner After Dark is brought to you by Groove Diner After Dark, the store. That's right, starting with tonight's episode, you can tell the world of your love for Groove Diner After Dark by owning official Groove Diner After Dark merchandise. Coffee mugs, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, a pint glass, stickers, and much more can be yours today. Simply go to GrooveDinerAfterDark.com or click the link in this video description and get your gear today. Thank you for your support.
And as you see there, we have the all-new Do You Groove sweatshirt. I'm going to show it to you again here real quick. That is the new Do You Groove sweatshirt. We're also putting that on t-shirts and whatnot. That's a really cool graphic and a super, super cool t-shirt to have around. I have a feeling that you're going to start seeing some Do You Groove things all over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun for us, to say the least. As I said at the top of this thing, I'm on the road. We don't have the big fancy cameras and all the fancy sound. It's just me and my laptop and my AirPods and in the room here doing the show along with Dan and Eli. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Hey, thanks, Toby. It's good to see you here tonight. Thank you. I'm glad you like this. Is the hotel room. I kind of look at it and I'm like, well, interesting color scheme for sure. Reggie's here. Thanks for joining us tonight. I think I saw we had somebody here from Perth, Australia. I'm not sure who that was. I didn't quite see the comment come through because, in fact, I'm not getting all the comments tonight. Again, on the road, things are a little different. But anyway, it's good to see everybody here. So I've said that enough times. Let me tell you a little bit about tonight's show. Um, I asked my friends to do me a favor and to put together a very quick video, 30 seconds or so, of their biggest pet peeves as a drummer. And look, we have them, to say the very least. We have them. And boy, did these guys come through. It was incredible, some of the things that I got. And I pulled about 10 of my favorites for you guys tonight. I think you're going to really enjoy hearing some of this stuff. And I'd love to know what yours are. Are you a drummer that's watching tonight? What are your biggest pet peeves from behind the drum set? I want to know. I'll tell you mine as well as we go along. It's been a whole lot of fun hearing what these guys had to say. I will tell you this, I have not seen them all. So some of the ones that I'm about to watch, I'm watching with you for the very first time. And that in and of itself is kind of fun. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing what some of them had to say. So yeah, ultimately, as a drummer, what's one of your biggest pet peeves? What annoys you when you're on the bandstand with other players? What is it that makes you, want to come out from behind your drums angrily and talk to somebody and say, "Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that." I'll tell you mine later, like I said. I see Charles has joined us. Thanks for joining us from South Africa this morning for you morning. It's actually quite a bit later than that where I am tonight. Uh, Eddie Taduri, how you doing today, man? It's good to talk to you earlier. Thanks for joining us. And for everybody else that's tuning in, I see we're starting to build a little bit of an audience now, so I'm really glad to see that. It's always challenging because you know that little number that's right there, um, that's at the top of the screen that tells you how many people here. It's just so wrong. We often have hundreds of people watching, and it doesn't look like we've got very many. But every time I see the number go up, I'm very, very grateful. Hey, Barry Halevi, nice to see you. I hope that you're doing well. Thanks again for joining us. Yeah, I see over here Dan saying that I am, in fact, on the road. This is not a new set. So thank you. By the way, I just have to comment on this. Some people were talking about the station wagon graphic, and they didn't realize that we were riffing on the vacation mode. That was an intentionally bad Photoshop with my picture kind of thrown onto the car from the movie Vacation, uh, and apparently people thought I had bought a car that looked like the family truckster. No, it was just a funny little Photoshop. So I thought I'd clarify that at the top of the show. So yeah, anyway, Veronica Ebert might actually be who was here from Perth, Australia. I'm not sure. I see that Toby's mentioning her at the moment. You know, I've been pondering my top of the show monologue for a few days, and I typically do that. And the truth is, this road trip has been so much fun for me. I'm tired. I've been everywhere, all over doing all sorts of things, trying to have a nice trip, and I'll tell you more about it later. And there's one really big announcement coming at the end of this episode, and I mean a big one, maybe the biggest of all. Certainly the biggest announcement I've ever made live on this show before. So be sure you stick around after the videos, and I'll tell you not only where I am, but why I'm here, and I think a lot of you are going to be shocked and probably very happy. So I'll tell you all about that in a while. Oh, I see Reggie's here. Thank you, sir. Um, and he's already weighing in with his pet peeves. We'll definitely get back to that for sure. Again, if you've got a pet peeve, let us know. But for now, let's get started. Let's take a look at some of these videos that my friends sent in. And by the way, I don't anticipate this show being quite a full hour tonight, which will be fun for us. You know, we'll do our thing and say our hellos and have our smiles and all of that. So let's see what John Geiger had to say to us. So John Geiger is first up tonight. I'm going to roll this thing.
Hey, buddy, great question. What is my pet peeve around drumming? It actually has more to do with other bands. We're a band that we work a lot of clubs where we have to get on and off quickly, and it never fails to amaze me that we're dealing with bands before us that decide at the very last second to do a 8-minute guitar wank fest and then stand on stage and kiss babies and shake hands to make us late for the start of our sets. That drives me crazy.
With good reason, John. Oh my gosh, I know, right? It's like you've done all of this stuff in the band before you. It's just like, okay, kiss your babies, but do it off stage somewhere, please. Okay, we got to set up. Man, I feel that so much, and in LA especially, you know, we have what I call fast food bands a lot of times, where we 15 bands in a night, bam, 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 and we have to do that sort of thing, and it's kind of crazy. And man, when the bands linger on stage, oh my gosh, it drives me out of my mind. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Oh man, so what Reggie's saying? What is he saying over here? I saw his comment come up. I've lost it. Anyone from the band standing between my kit and the lead singer while we're playing, dude. Right? It's why do you have to do that? Anywhere on either side of the stage, but right between, yeah, you can't see anything, and that's just insane. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Kendall. Good to see you here tonight. And boy, we're starting to get a good crowd. Let's take a look at what Herman Matthews had to say. What's his biggest pet peeve as a drummer?
Howdy, folks. My name is Herman Matthews. I'm a session drummer, touring drummer. Locally, I play in clubs.
Drumming icon.
I'll play for anyone who will pay me. I'll make this short and sweet. One of my pet peeves, I don't want anyone touching my drums. After they're set up, they're set up. Don't sit behind them. Don't even look at them hard. Simple enough. Thank you.
Mental note: don't touch Herman's drums. Got it. Herman won't be touching your drums, I promise. Not gonna happen. That's awesome. I mean, and just so stinking simple. Don't touch my drums. Absolutely. Let's see. We have my friend Doug Tan here. He sent one. Let's see what he had to say.
Pet peeves. Very specific. Maybe not a lot of guys will get this, but about half of what I do in town is with horn sections, and they are consistently and habitually slowing down the rehearsal, interrupting the rehearsal, and not paying attention. So horn players, please stop talking, listen to the MD, and the 4-hour call will quickly become a 3-hour call. All right, guys, peace.
So for Doug, it's really about the professionalism of the other players in the band. I guess that's a fair complaint. It really is, because when you have one of the things that you learn, truthfully, is that practice happens on your time, rehearsal happens on everyone's time. So if you are rehearsing, you should not be practicing, which means get to the rehearsal space, know your parts, be ready to play with the band. And in his case, what he's talking about there, he is very literally calling out horn players for literally not paying attention and clearly disrupting things. And whether it's a horn player or a guitar player or a singer, it hardly matters, because everyone should be professional on the bandstand. And I get that completely. It's frustrating when people don't do that. Oh man, yeah. I'm kind of loving this, by the way. Corey Mansky, what does he have to say?
Playing on a house kit is a challenge. Challenge accepted, that's fine. But my biggest pet peeve is other musicians not recognizing or acknowledging how much of a limitation it is to play on a house kit when you're so used to your kit. And I wish there was a way that we could equate that with other instruments, like maybe, hey, you've got to play this show with one less string on your guitar. I don't know, but that's a huge pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, he's so right. It is so difficult when you're playing a house kit. I freaking hate playing a house kit. Playing a house kit is, I think it's worse than playing, a guitar without a string. I think if I was going to equate it to something, I would say this: playing a house kit for a drummer is like telling a right-handed guitar player to play it left-handed. That's how much the drums are such a physical instrument, and we work so hard and spend so much of our time getting our kit set just right so we can flow and not have to think, be part of what's happening, be in the moment, in the music. And then you go some club and they want you to play that house kit over there. Just bring cymbals, and suddenly it's 4 cardboard boxes and a trash can lid that they call a cymbal. It's always so difficult to do. So, like you said, challenge accepted, but just a little bit of understanding from the band would be great. And drummers, let's try that again. The things that you can do to mitigate that are bring your own cymbals, because usually you've got time to put your own cymbals up. Bring your own snare drum. Bring your own bass drum pedal. I personally bring my own throne because I sit high. I'm a taller guy, so I like a pretty tall throne. So that's something I do for myself when I'm playing on a house kit. And another part of that equation, drummers, that you may not think about, is you should have a little kit that's got cymbal felts, cymbal washers, some wing nuts in it, the plastic cymbal nuts or cymbal felts, or no, the plastic cymbal washers. That's what I'm trying to say. That the cymbals sit on. That you should have a little kit with those, so that inevitably the cymbal stands are going to be metal on metal, and you don't want to put your cymbals through that. So that's something to consider as well. That's a good one, Corey. I like it. Our good friend Eddie Taduri. How you doing tonight, Eddie? Eddie and I talked a little earlier today. Let's see what Eddie has to say tonight.
What are your biggest pet peeves as a drummer?
Dynamics are the most important thing to me in any musical situation. So in other words, when you see me play with the trap band, it's a big band with horns, and we'll be playing like this fat back thing, and then we'll go through the verse like that. Then there'll be some sort of a solo, and you want to pick it up, not the beat, but you can play a little louder for the solo because you're pushing it. But when you come back to the verse, you got to remember. And I was always told as a kid, the singer is the most important element on it. So as we're playing, we'll push that solo, and then bap, bring it down to a whisper, so that vocalists are shining, not the band. The band is backing the vocals. So that's what that's about.
Yeah, he's not wrong about that for sure, because that's so hard, and you may have seen that word guitars come up across there. Very often, guitarists have a reputation, is it earned, for not paying a lot of attention to other things that are going on in the bandstand. Maybe that's the case, maybe not, but he's exactly right that he took it very seriously, the assignment there, and I'm glad he did, because that's a great musical lesson. When you're playing in a band situation and you're pushing the volume of the solo, you do need to bring it back down. Things should not be static and all one level. Is it always loud, or is it always? It should never be always one or the other. It should ebb and flow. Wait, it would be ebb and flow, ebb and flow. It would be ebb and flow with volume, so that you have somewhere to go. You can push the soloist. You can pull back and let the vocals speak. Things of that nature. It's a big deal. Absolutely. So thank you for that one, Eddie. That's really awesome. I'm getting a couple of comments over here from Kendall. I remember being a disruptive horn player. So you're one of the problem. I see. Toby, her pet peeve is that drummers need to have a higher stand so she can get a good picture. Yes, I wish I had this queued up, and I don't. The one time that I've been in the LA Times newspaper in my life is there are three people on stage, three: bass, guitar, and me. They took a picture, they took like 30 pictures of us doing our thing. And the picture they chose to put in the LA Times, you can see bass, guitar, and me. It's just crazy because I am hidden. Of all the pictures they took, they chose that one. I'll never understand it. It's so funny. Yeah, house kit, bring your own hi-hat clutches, and several sizes of them. That is absolutely right, because Yamahas are smaller than DWs or bigger than, and so on. So you need to have several different size hi-hat clutches. That's a very good point that needed to be made. I'm also getting another one over here. Let's see. Alan Mazer. Mine was always the house kit. I will always play the house kit. It makes me not tweak out on setting up his own kick, and he hates loading in. That's actually brilliant. I think I kind of love that, Alan, that you just don't mind playing the house kit at all. I think so many of us, myself included, get so wrapped up in every little millimeter of where things. Oh, that's out of place by half a millimeter. I can't play it in it. And I'm guilty of that for sure. So it's really cool that you don't, that you are good at playing the house kit. That's amazing to me. I see that he's actually guessing where I am. Not saying yet, but certainly stick around. Like I said, a big announcement coming at the end of this one. My dear friend Renee Beavers, what did you have to
Now,
say, sir?
pet peeve would be having my bass drum blocked when it's not necessary. There's plenty of room. It's not a need to put, well, let's put it this way. Microphone stand directly in front of the bass drum. And it's one of the tall ones where they block part of the logo. I gotta have my logo showing.
Yeah, okay. That leads me directly to one of my two biggest pet peeves. I'm just going to dive right in. Blocking the bass drum that he's talking about. He's talking about a microphone stand. I'm going to take it further. Dear Mr. Guitar Player, you do not need to put your guitar stand directly in front of the bass drum. You don't need to do that. Move it 2 feet this way or 2 feet that way. But when you put it directly in front of my bass drum, I basically want to come out from behind the drum set and beat you about the head with your own guitar. That's what I want to do. I might have artwork on that bass drum head. It might be beautiful. I might need to get to the bass drum miking hole. I might just not like having your stupid guitar in front of my bass drum. That's right. I said it was a stupid guitar. Literally, put it anywhere else. Move it to the side. Don't put it right in front of the bass drum. Please. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. I have another, but we'll come back to that. Man, oh man. Yeah, so I'm clearly on on the same page as Renee. Whew, man. Justin Scheidling.
Hey guys, Justin Chidling here. Thanks again, Buddy and Groove Diner, for having me. Biggest pet peeve was a lot easier for me to figure out than my eccentricity. I hate when people count triplets wrong.
Wait. Justin, you are an eccentricity.
When people count triplets wrong. Triplet is not how you count triplets. Triplet has 2 syllables in it. Triplet. So the third partial, you would put the number of the beat that the triplet falls on. So instead of being triplet, you don't know where you start, where you stop. So you can count 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Or if you're playing 16th note triplets, 1 triplet and triplet, you can go 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet. Simple as that. It really bugs me when people do, when they just can't count right. And you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's the correct way. Apple, banana. The whole fruit method and hamburger. Hippopotamus, no, just count with numbers. I'm begging you. Thanks.
And he just walked off. Oh, that's hysterical. I love it. That's fantastic. So he does not like the way people count triplets. So I will confess that I had seen that one before, and I did everything I could to write the word triplet in 3 syllables. I sent him text after text after text after text with all kinds of different ways of saying triplet, all of which were 3 syllables because I had to poke at him. But you know what? I get it. Because what he said is right. You know, the lesson of that is knowing where you are. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. It makes perfect sense. So I totally get it. If that's what bugs you, that's what bugs you. Hey, Charles, I'm glad you're enjoying the episode, man. I am too, obviously. This is really fun. And I love kind of how everybody pitched in on this. It was so fun to me. Eddie Taduri, I touched Herman's kits once. He hasn't talked to me since. That is hysterical. Oh, man. Herman, talk to Eddie, would you, please? Kendall, I'm not saying. Oh, it's because of the airplane, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I see that back there. You'll have to stick around to the end to find out. You sure will. Oh, Alan's guessing. Don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Is it possible that I'm in Nashville? I don't know. I certainly know people in Nashville. Not sure. This is really funny. Triple it. That's 3 syllables right there. Triple it. Nice. Oh, let's see what my good friend Keith Tenenbaum had to say.
Hey, this is Keith Tenenbaum, session drummer, back again to discuss my pet peeves. One of my main pet peeves is, before a string of shows, I polish the cymbals, I make them bright and beautiful, shiny, just perfect. And then everyone on stage before the show starts has to comment on how shiny my cymbals are, and then they all start touching them and rubbing their hands on them, and they're just brought in by the shiny thing. And then, like, next thing you know, my cymbals aren't shiny anymore. That's pet peeve number one. Pet peeve number two would be kit share. When touring through the UK, the headliner has to share their kit with the opening acts.
Oh, I know where this is going.
So basically, I would have my kit tuned and polished and perfect and set to my heights, and everything would be the way I want it when I sound check. But then after I sound check, 3 other bands beat on the kit before I can get to it. And then by the end of the night, I sit down at my kit, and it's not what it was when I left it there earlier in the day. Those are my 2 pet peeves.
Those are pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the shiny first. Oh my gosh, I totally get that. I still keep a really clean car. I keep my car pretty clean. Back in the day, I used to keep it immaculate, and it became sort of a thing for my friends to walk by and put their fingers on it when I cleaned it up. They would put their fingers on the windshield or on the window or in the on the paint. It just was their way of poking at me, right? And it was their way of showing their love, I suppose. So I get it, man. When you do have shiny cymbals, they're so pretty that you do want to touch them, right? But man, all the work that you just put into that, yeah, I feel you on that one, Keith. Absolutely. Now about the headlining act, dude, yeah, that's right. Toby saying that your kit became the house kit. That's exactly what happens. And people don't treat house kits very well. See, drummers, you want to have better house kits, treat them better, and people will provide better house kits. Man, I totally feel you on that. That is a challenge, and I mean a challenge when you have to share your kit as the headliner with opening acts, especially if it's multiple opening acts. And it's hard because you understand, I know you do, Keith, that the players in the other bands need to set the kit so that they're comfortable, but there should be some element of I'm going to touch this as little as possible. Herman, who was on a minute ago, he came into my studio, and I had left my drums in there and had told him, set them up however you need because he was tracking in my studio, and he didn't so much as touch anything except lower the throne. And I'm a good bit taller than Herman, so he absolutely demolished a session while playing my drums in my setup, and nobody can play my drums because they're all so high, and he just killed it without really moving anything. So it was kind of amazing that he did that. Man, it's something else to see that. Oh my goodness. All right, Nate Morton, what you got, my friend?
I think my biggest drumming pet peeve would be people who don't get out of your way when they see you trying to walk through a crowd carrying gear. Like maybe you've got a cymbal bag on your back or a kick drum on your back, or you're carrying a hardware bag over your shoulder or pushing a hardware case. And I just think to myself, like, pay attention. Like, can you see I'm carrying stuff? So get out of my way, right? So sometimes as I walk by, I accidentally nudge them with my bass drum.
Yes, I have absolutely accidentally nudged someone with my bass drum more than once. Dude, seriously, if you see me walking through the crowd of a club and I'm carrying a bass drum and you don't get out of the way, you might as well expect to get a lug in the back of your skull. It's coming. I mean, seriously, move. It's just not that hard. Person carrying giant thing, you standing having a drink. Move. Just move. Just move. My goodness, I'm so with you on that. Mine, I'm going to show you another one of mine. I have here a pair of my drumsticks. This is a very clean, fresh, new pair. I keep about 6 or 8 of these pairs of sticks in my stick bag at all times. I also keep about 6 or 8 pairs of sticks that I have already played in my stick bag at all times. If someone happens to come by my drum set and they want to sit down and play it or see what it's about, I am usually open to it if I know that they are in fact a drummer, and if they appear respectful, and if they approach me in a positive way. And they inevitably reach into the bag and pull out a brand new pair of drumsticks. Please don't do that. play one of the old beaten up pairs because all you're doing is coming to check things out. I want to have the brand new ones for my gigs. My weird thing here is that I want to have brand new drumsticks for every show, for every session. And if in fact I laid these on the snare drum and you walk up and you pick them up and you kind of play with them, you might as well take them with you because I'm never going to touch them. How's that? So a pet peeve of mine is reaching into the bag and grabbing a brand new pair of drumsticks. Get the ones that have been played. Drives me out of my mind. I just don't understand it either. I mean, I guess I do because the new ones just look so pretty and feel so good, right? But it's like, man, come on already. You know, I don't even know what to make of it. This episode, we're planning to do a short one, but this has been so fun tonight. I almost wish we had 30 more videos. I actually chose these that I chose because I didn't know that we'd have a whole lot of time. But it's been so fun already. We are actually down to our very last video. Mike Odabashian. And we got Mike's a little bit in advance. And I'm honestly pretty good. It's pretty good. I think you're going to enjoy this. Here we go, Mike Odabashian.
Hello? Oh, hey, Nate. What's going on, man? Chop. Kind of busy over here. What's up? You need me to fill in for next season of The Voice. Kind of more of an idol guy. Yeah. I mean, the human interest stories are just amazing. I mean, I cry almost every time. So, dude, I think I'm gonna pass. But dude, I got Abe calling. I got Abe calling. Let me grab this real quick. Abe, what's up, man? Yeah. Chop. What's up? What's going on, bro? Come on. I'm kind of busy over here. Oh, okay. 30 dates with Paul. Kind of a Stones guy. Kind of more of a Stones guy. Yeah. I won't be able to do it, but dude, I got people here. Let me let you go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, Mike Odabashian here. I have a bit of a PSA for all you bass players, singers, and guitar players. So when we go to a gig, you guys have probably collectively 4 things, all together that you need to bring, and it's a lot. I'm sure it's heavy. You guys get it up on stage. Somebody's to the left, somebody's to the right. And then, rather than go get like a beer and a shot and celebrate and watch me set up all of the real shit, you guys go into the middle of my drum rug and just like hang out, talk. Conversations such as, bro, I got this like bass pedal and it's like, man, my bass like sounds so like bassy. It's like, dude, it's like the tone and the bass tone bass of the tone. And, the guitar player's like, yeah, bro, I got this, like, new pedal. Like, you just, like, you step on it, and it makes it sound so, like, guitar-y. And I'm just, like, standing there, like, what's happening? Because I got, like, 90 things to set up. Like, 90. Not 1, not 2. But I think I could collectively count about 90 things. So, guys, this is just a friendly public service announcement. Get the f*** off the stage. Just get out of the way. Keyboard players, they're fine. They're fucking weird. They don't talk to anybody anyways. But they're not bringing a Steinway either. They could grab the snare drum on the way in. Just saying, guys. Just saying. So in the future, the drum rug, just like when you were like 10, you'd get on the furniture and the floor is lava. The fucking drum rug's lava. Get away from it. Don't stand in the middle of it. I got to do. And just remember, guys, we're the guys with the sticks and the metal bars. I'm just saying. Hey, and this is Mike Odabashian. This is a public service announcement. Coming back.
I really don't know what to say. There's not much to add to that, is there? Although, from this point on, the drum rug is lava. I might even write an album and call it that. Mike, that is the greatest quote of all time. The drum rug is lava. I freaking adore that. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. He's right, though. Man, it's a problem. Other players have no idea all the stuff that we bring into a venue, man. And even if you've got a drum tech and you've got people working for you, it's still a problem because he's right. I'm just going to add a little to it, I guess. If you are helpful enough to help me carry a drum case or 2 into the venue, please don't put said drum case in the middle of the drum rug. It's lava. It'll melt the drums. Don't do that. put it around it, because that's where we've got to put our stuff. We got to set up on the drum rug, okay? So, dude, I mean, this is some seriously good stuff here, Mike. Very, very, very funny. I am a big fan of that one. Holy cow. Michael Reschke, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I clearly am too. This has been so much fun. I can't even tell you. My goodness. These pet peeves, we've all talked about them, and they have been something to behold, and it's really kind of nice to get to air them a little bit in this public forum, because I don't know if other players are even aware of how annoying they are. And what he said about keyboard players, they're just weird. Nobody talks to them anyway. There's some truth to that. I mean, hey, drummers, we're all friends with each other, but it's because we're all weird too, and we understand each other. You know what I mean? So it's pretty funny. It's wow. Wow. What are some of yours? Do you have any more? This is some good stuff. Um, I'm really enjoying the heck out of this. Michael, what's one of your pet peeves as a drummer? Charles, do you have one? Kendall, you're a really new drummer. Do you have anything that is a pet peeve of yours that you'd like to share? Reggie, anyone touch? Oh, here's Reggie's right here. Anyone from the band touching my pasties except for me? Yes, yes. You know that I am in fact on board with that idea. Holy cow, keep your hands off my cymbals, man. And it's not just because of the fingerprints. I just don't want you touching them. This is my instrument. Yes, I hit them, but I hit them the right way. How do I know that you will? I don't know that you will. Will you? I don't know. It's so funny. Man, and there's something about drums. People just want to touch them. And I kind of guess that's kind of cool. But man, oh man, oh man. Yeah. So anyway, thanks so much everybody for tuning in tonight. I said I had a couple of announcements, and where's Buddy tonight? Well, let me tell you where I am, why I am, and what's going on. And right at the tail end of this, I have a very, 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 very big announcement to make. So don't leave yet. Oh, here's one from Renee. Let's see what he's got. Hold on. Don't tune my drums when you sit in. Really? You want to leave them alone? That's an interesting. Oh, you mean like sitting in with the band, not like opening out. Okay, I get that. They're your drums, and you've got somebody sitting in. Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. Groove Diner After Dark. That's supposedly me. That's actually Dan. What you saying over there, Dan? Humble brags with leading questions like, "Isn't this the greatest pedal? Don't you love this snare?" Oh, no kidding, right? I'm going to tell you. Here's a little secret. Okay, here's a secret. If I don't really love somebody's playing, whether it's a guitar player or a bass player or a drummer, um, I will always say the following phrase in some form. Wow, that's a really interesting tone you got on that thing. How did you do that? What is that, a new amp? I always do that instead of even ever commenting about their playing, because I don't want anybody to feel bad about their playing. Maybe it just wasn't my cup of tea, but I always ask them something like that to distract them from the expectations of a commentary on their playing. So that's my way of handling it. That's right. No touchy, no touchy, no touchy. Michael Reschke, what you got here? My pet peeve is people saying my cymbals or drums are the wrong to use at a gig, meaning the kit's too big or the kit's too small or the kit's too loud or the kit's too soft, something like that. I think that's exactly, yeah, I'm with you on that, man. It can be a real pain because we bring our drums being acoustic, it makes it a challenge, because we don't really, we can't use a volume knob. We have to do some different things to make things sound a particular way at a gig. So I totally get that, man. Um, okay, so Michael's saying that I'm on track with that. Okay, good. Yeah, it's absolutely right. Because again, like if I'm playing a small room, I'm gonna bring the kit that I think is okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try, but boy, it drives me nuts. Oh, Renee, no, I did not. I did not go. That's a really okay. I will say that I did say that's a great sounding snare drum, but that's because you really do have a great sounding snare drum, and I keep trying to talk him out of that snare drum just for the record. But I like your playing a lot. You know I do. Um, Eli, come on. All right, Charles, what you got here? Mine is long. My setup is set. Don't temper or annoy the animal. I'm the timekeeper. If you can't hear me, then use common sense to ensure you can. The rug is lava. Exactly. This is a pretty common one, I think. Is look, we're doing our best here. Don't mess with our stuff. We don't mess with your guitars. I don't walk over to a guitar with a drumstick and start pounding on the neck. Don't do that kind of stuff, please. I beg of you. Also, if you want to stake your claim on the stage, then get there before me. If I get there before you and I set up the kit, and you get there later and you say, "Would you mind moving back 6 inches?" Yes, I mind. Get here earlier. Do you know how hard it is to move a drum set 6 inches in any direction? It's hard. We have 90 pieces of gear. Didn't you hear that? So if I have to move 6 inches back or sideways or whatever, then I have to move 90 things. 6 inches. It's a lot. Get here before me. Yeah, Renee, I love you too. Oh man, Eddie, if you're playing too loud, if you're playing louder than me, you're playing too loud. That's funny. Um, oh, Toby's is weighed in here. Buddy is obviously on the East Coast now. Interesting. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, good God. Michael, I can barely even put this one on the screen, man. Having to listen to lubricated patrons argue in front of me. Who's better, Travis Barker or Joey Jordison? Don't even know what to say about that one, man. Yep. Yes. Yes. Again, I really don't even know what to say about that one. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have ranted and ranted and ranted and ranted. But man, these have been so fun. So let's talk a little bit here with we're kind of coming close to the end here, and I have a couple of announcements, and let's do it like this.
Welcome to Groove Diner After Dark.
Oh, no.
Tonight is kind of a cool
No,
night.
no. See, this is what happens when you do a live thing right here. That's it. It went to the wrong thing. Did you see that? Here are the things. So where am I? Right this minute, I am on the tail end of the first part of a trip. Yes, in fact, I am on the East Coast, Toby Simmons. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, to be a part of my friend Terrence's wedding. Terrence Irvin and his lovely new bride, Christy. And it was really one of the most fun weddings I've ever been in. And I was actually in a wedding, and I did not know that I would be in weddings at this point in my life anymore. So that was really wonderful. Thank you, Terrence. It was an honor and a pleasure, good sir. Thank you so much for asking me. So I was in Charlotte, though I am not there now. I was in Charlotte over the weekend, and it was really cool because I got to see some friends, including Barry Halevi, who chimed in earlier. So he actually knows where I am. That's why I didn't say much. But I got to say hi to Barry and his lovely wife, Sally. Had never met her. Barry, I still say you married out of your league. Well done, sir. I got to see my dear friend John Bay and Vicky Bay. They came over from Tennessee. They had lived in California and were very, very close to my wife and I. And we realistically probably wouldn't have survived our early days in California without them. And when they moved to Tennessee, it was a loss for us. We felt like they were our California family, and in fact, that's how we described them all the time. As our California family, the Bays, and they were invited to the wedding, and they came over and got to see them for the first time really in a couple of years, because the pandemic kept us from being together prior to that much, so it was good to see John and Vicky. And in fact, John worked as my drum tech off and on for about 10 years. So he knows my gear about as well as anybody on the planet. So that was cool, and got to see Emily Gould and her wife, Rachel. And that was really awesome. I always enjoy seeing them. In fact, the three of us got to have a little dinner after the ceremony and whatnot. And we had a really good time. It was funny. We were trying to escape all things music, and we went to a restaurant and we're sitting quietly having a little chat, and all of a sudden, boom, this music just exploded over in the other room, and the restaurant turned into a club. We had no idea. So this place over in Charlotte just exploded about the time we'd been there, about half an hour before it exploded with music. But it was really good seeing them and everybody that I got to see. Met some people that are in fact Facebook only friends or Instagram only friends. So I got to meet a few people in person. Neil Griffin jumps to mind, so that was among others. So that was really just a lot of fun. But where am I tonight? I am in fact in Durham, North Carolina. So you weren't too far off there, Kendall, with your Kitty Hawk guess. I am in Durham, North Carolina, seeing my son and his lovely wife. I have not seen them in 3 years due to the pandemic. So we talk a lot. We talk 3 times a day, just about. And I've been out at their place, their tiny house. They built a tiny house, which is pretty cool, you know. And they've got it situated out on a kind of a wooded lot, not too far from where I'm currently sitting here. And wow, it's just so cool. So there's so much clever in that tiny house. And I couldn't live there because I play drums. They don't. So it's pretty cool that they can live that way. And I will tell you, I was surprised when they said they were going to do it initially, because I didn't even remotely understand the concept of living in a space that's about 550 square feet, 2 adults, and a dog and a cat. And when you get in there and you see what they've done with the place, it's really kind of incredible. And what my son said was everything has 2 uses, and he's right. The stairs double as a station for the washer and dryer. You know, the closet has a sliding door that serves as a bookshelf, things like that. So it's really impressive to see it. So if you're living the tiny house life, or if you're intrigued by the tiny house life, I can hook you up with somebody that knows a good bit about it. And they built it themselves, like literally built it themselves. They didn't buy a prefab or anything. They literally built it themselves. So it's really impressive to me what they were able to get done. I just can't believe it. And I don't know this, and he'll correct me because I'm sure he's watching. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he learned to do it by watching YouTube videos. I guess there's nothing you can't learn on YouTube, right? But it's an incredibly impressive thing to see. So, and the big announcement that I mentioned to you at the top of this thing is that in just about 4 weeks' time, I am going to have a grandchild. Can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. My son and his wife are in fact expecting, and I've been waiting until now to tell you guys. We're really super excited. They are super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun to get to have a little baby around, and I came out to see them and to make sure everybody's doing well, and they are. They look super happy. She's super pregnant, so it's really a cool thing to get to see that. And I will have my first grandchild. I don't feel old enough, nor old enough to have a son as old as he is, nor a grandchild on the way. But it's absolutely fantastic that is the case, and I'm super happy. Thank you so much for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. It's pretty freaking amazing, I must say. And you know, having an adult child, I had obviously had him when I was pretty young, and having an adult child now that is someone that I really like is pretty cool. And I like his wife a lot too. She's really awesome. He did a great job when let me put it this way. She did a great job of turning him into a better man. How about that? He's a great guy, and she is absolutely responsible for an awful lot of the change in him. I made it through the wild years together, you know. So I'm really happy. They've been together about 10 years, so I can't say that it's a big shock that they are deciding to have a baby, but it's still an amazing thing to me that I am in fact going to be a grandfather here in just a very few weeks. About 4 weeks time is when she's due. So I'll certainly let you know as this new joy comes into our life, what it's all about. So with that, We're done for the night. This was so much fun. Oh, Toby's asking when the baby is due. May the 7th is the due date, and I asked my daughter-in-law, what she's feeling. Is she feeling early? Is she feeling late, or what? She said she's feeling pretty much like it's going to be right on time. She keeps saying the word he. Um, my son actually, my son actually is not quite so convinced. He's a little more half and half on that. But like you said, they got a 50-50 shot at it. But they are not in fact going to find out. They are they're curious to let it happen naturally and find out at the hospital with just like the rest of us. And I see a lot of you guys are saying congratulations, and I thank you for that. And several of you are calling me grandpa and such. I'm going to be called Pop. That's what I've asked to be called. So no S on the end of that, just Pop. And that's a tribute to my grandfather, Gibbons. We called him Pop, and I always really liked him. I thought he was really pretty awesome. So I'm hoping that's the day. Alan Mazer, this is funny. Yeah, May the 4th would be pretty cool. Of course, then we'd have to name the baby Grogu or Yoda. I don't really think that's a bad thing. What do you think, Walker? That'd be pretty good though. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing, gang. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Next week we're going to have another on the road, and I will not be in Durham, North Carolina. I will be somewhere else doing more. We'll do another episode very much like this, where instead of pet peeves, we're going to talk about idiosyncrasies and quirks. Drummers are quirky people. Are we really? It's funny because the same group of friends, I said, tell me some of your quirks and pet peeves, and all of them came up with the pet peeves very quickly. But many of them said, I'm having a hard time coming up with a quirk or an idiosyncrasy. Yeah, you've got them. Trust me. Even if it's that you don't have any, then that's definitely one. I absolutely do. So, yeah, you gotta think about that. But we've got a few of those videos for next week too. So it's going to be another one like this from a different part of the country, and maybe we'll have another little guessing game about where's Buddy for next week. But until then, I wish you all a really wonderful time. I'm trying to find my thing over here. There it is. Until I see you next week. I wish you a great week and a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your congratulations. While I'm grateful to get them, it's really my son and daughter-in-law, So they're the ones that are doing all the hard work here, and it's going to be a lot of fun for me, So, all right, gang, I will see you next week for the drummer quirks and idiosyncrasies episode. Yeah, that's what we'll call that. Have a great one.